This is Single Status. Hello, Single Status family. Welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Samantha, and guys, today is a bittersweet day because it is the last episode of Single Status Podcast. And if you've been listening to the past few episodes, you know that I am working on a rebrand. We are working on changing the name of the podcast, and that will be announced early December on my Instagram and TikTok account. So if you don't already follow me, make sure to follow me at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. My links are below because I'm going to update you there on everything that is going on with the rebrand. And then we're going to launch the new name, the new title, early January. And I'm going to take a little break for the holidays. So I won't be putting out any episodes in the month of December. But guys, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has supported the show, that has been here along the journey. It's been 2 years of Single Status Podcast. Today is our 49th episode. And guys, it has been such a blessing because I love hearing from all of you. I've had people reach out from different countries, from all across the world, that have said, you feel like you have been on this journey with me. And I love how God is, because he will sometimes connect us with certain people where we feel like we're kind of going through the same things at the same time. And that's what it seems like with some of you, that you listen and you feel like you're kind of going through the same season or the same situations as me. And that's been my prayer since the beginning, is that you would feel less alone in this season, and that you would feel like you have someone to be on this journey with you. And I just so much, that really just warms my heart whenever I hear any of you reach out and share that this show has been an encouragement. So I just want to thank all of you. I want to thank everyone that has been supporting the show, that has been listening to the show, that has been praying for me and supporting me. And I am just so excited for this new chapter and this rebrand, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. So before we jump into the episode, if this show has been a blessing to you, I would so much appreciate it if you could go to Apple or Spotify and rate the show, write a review, and if you could share with a friend. That's how we grow. That's how we reach more people. And make sure to follow me on YouTube as well. You can watch every episode there. So definitely follow. Our links are all below. So in today's episode, I'm going to answer some questions that some people asked me on Instagram. I went to my Instagram and I said, hey, ask me any question. I will answer it in the last episode of Single Status. So that's what we are going to do today. And speaking of the holidays, like I said, I'm taking a break in December, so I won't be posting any new episodes in the month of December. But speaking of the holiday season, we had a few people reach out and say, do you have any tips for being single over the holidays? And I didn't even think about talking about this year, but I realized, we got to talk about that, because first of all, I just want to validate anyone that's feeling stressed, anyone that is feeling upset about being single again, or maybe for the first time over the holidays. Yes, the holidays can be a hard time for single people, because the reality is some of you may have been in a relationship the past few years, or maybe it's your first time being single in a while for the holidays. And that can be hard because past memories pop up of maybe the person you were with before, and it can be hard having a first holiday season without that person. Or maybe you've been single year after year after year over the holidays, and it's like, Lord, again, like I got to be single again for the holidays. And then also sometimes we get caught up in this holiday vision of the culture has just romanticized the holidays so much. So we turn on Netflix and it's all these movies about these, Hallmark movies of these cheesy rom-coms, and on social media, everyone's posting their families and couple photos and under the mistletoe. And so it can be hard because it's almost like this comparison starts to creep in, and maybe we even felt content, but the holidays come around and then you're like, wow, I feel really single. Or maybe you feel like you're missing something. And so I understand where you're coming from, and I've been there, guys. And yeah, I'm to the point where this year I actually feel really good. I feel really good because I've done so much inner work and just really have worked on myself that I feel really rooted in where God has me, and I really trust that He's guiding my steps. So I actually feel like I'm in a really good place. However, there is the thought that's like, Lord, seriously, I've been single the past 2 Christmases, I think. It's been 2 or 3. Has it been 2? No, it's probably been the past 2 Christmases. This is the 3rd Christmas that I'm single, like long-term singleness. And so, yeah, I did have that thought of, wow, okay, I'm single again. Okay. We're going to do this, and who knows, maybe I'll end up dating someone over the holidays, which would be fun. But anyway, so what are some tips for someone that is single over the holidays? And we already kind of talked about it, but my first tip is remember and actually write this down. Like, write this in your notes app on your phone, or get a journal out and write this down, because I really want you to bring this up and remind yourself of this over the holidays. So write down, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. We have to keep in mind that just because someone's in a relationship or just because someone is married does not mean that they are having this magical, joyous Christmas, okay? There are very happy single people, and there are very depressed single people. There are very happy married couples, and there are very depressed married couples that are on the verge of divorce, and it's heartbreaking and it's sad, and my heart goes out to them. But I'm saying that to say we cannot fall into this comparison trap of feeling like, oh, because I'm single, I can't have a good Christmas. Or because I'm single, I must be missing out on the Christmas joy that all of these other people in relationships or marriages are having. And the reality is we never know what someone else is going through. We never know what other people are going through. It's the even social media culture. We could see this beautiful family, just like we could see this single person that is putting on this facade that everything is great and everything is wonderful. But on the inside, you just never know what's going on the inside, and you never know what's going on in someone else's home. I mean, this staggering statistic out here of 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's really sad. That's really sad. And the reality is that means that there's probably 50% of marriages that are really struggling and on the verge of divorce. And we just need to keep our perspective in check that just because someone's in a marriage, just because someone's in a relationship, does not mean that they're having this beautiful, wonderful time. Again, and the same goes for single people. Just because you're single doesn't mean you're lonely and depressed, okay? I'm actually feeling the best I've ever felt in my life, and I'm single and I'm 33 years old, and I really just feel so rooted in where God has me right now. And so anyway, let's keep that in mind, that comparison is the thief of joy. Okay, so if you find yourself comparing yourself and, oh, I thought I was going to be here at this point in my life, or, oh, they look so happy, look at this happy family that I don't have, or I want kids and I don't have them yet, and blah, 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 and all these people look so happy and I'm sad and alone. Like, let's stop our mind from going in that shame spiral. We're going to catch it, we're going to stop it, and we're going to focus right back on God, and we're going to focus on what He says about us, and we're going to focus on the fact that God is guiding my steps, and I'm going to focus on the things that bring joy to my life. I'm going to focus on having fun in this season. I'm going to focus on having the best Christmas I can as a single person, and enjoy the time I have with my family, enjoy the time I have with my friends, enjoy this season. Okay. So that's the first tip. The second tip I would say is be so rooted and confident in your why and why you are single. Because guys, let's just be honest, okay? I'm going to be honest about myself. I don't have to be single right now, okay? And I know you watching don't have to be single either. The reality is we could go out here and settle and be with someone if we want to. We could be with someone just to be with someone. There are plenty of guys that I could say, "Oh, I'm sick of being single. I'm sick of being alone. I'm just going to be with this person, or I'm just going to settle for this guy that I know in my spirit is not right for me." Okay? So we have to be so rooted in our why, because listen, it is a decision at a certain point to be single. Like, I have decided to wait on God for the person that I know in my spirit is the right person. And it's not even waiting for someone that is the greatest person for me. And yes, obviously we're waiting on that person, the one that's going to treat us right, the one that's going to treat us properly. But there's been a lot of really good guys that have come my way, but there's something in my spirit that I just know that I know that I know that they're not it. And I trust that God is going to send me the man one day that, yes, that loves me, but me as well, that I just know in my spirit that, yes, this is my man. Like, this is my husband. And so the reason I say be rooted in your why and why you're still single and be confident in sharing that is because we all have those family members that want to ask questions, that want to pry, that think that you need help because you're still single. Like, "Oh, let me help you figure out what dating app to be on," or just whatever it may be. I had someone in the past at last Christmas, I had someone ask me if I was thinking of freezing my eggs. And it's just these people, they have good intentions for you and they love us, so they worry about us. But girl, like, you don't need to be in my business like that. And my why is, one, I trust God. I trust where I'm at in my life. I've never felt better than I do at 33. And I trust God's plan for my life. And I'm not interested in freezing my eggs. If I were to have complications in the future, I would take that as a sign that God is leading me to have children a different way. And women have children up until their early 40s. I mean, I'm hearing of people having children in their early 40s. I've had aunts, grandmas that had children at 40. Like, and I'm not saying, that I'm going to have kids at 40, but I'm just saying, I think people forget that many women have kids all through their 30s. And so it's like they want to put their anxieties on us. I shouldn't say they want to, but they're not realizing that they do put their anxieties on us when they're asking these questions and when they're prying. And we just have to be rooted in who we are, rooted in the plan that God has for us, and not let those anxieties get to us. Okay, so be confident in sharing when people ask questions. When people ask, "Oh, why are you still single?" I say, "I'm waiting on the right person." I refuse to be with the wrong person at this point in my life. I've been with the wrong person for me before, and it turned out really bad. I don't even have to explain it. Okay? Like, I am not waiting, or I am not being with the wrong person at this point in my life. Like, there's a lot of men that come my way, and the reality is I just don't have that peace right in my spirit. Like, I am waiting for the man that I know will treat me properly, but also in my spirit I hear a big fat yes from God. Like, I just have a supernatural peace about it, and that's what I'm waiting for. And I am confident about sharing that with people that ask, and that kind of shuts people up. So be confident in your why and don't be afraid to share it. And then the third tip I would say for single people over the holidays is remember what the holiday season is about. Okay? Again, just like we have romanticized so many things in our cultures, we have romanticized Christmas, And it has become so much of everything else and not about Jesus. And I actually grew up Catholic, so we always celebrated Christmas. My mom and dad made Christmases amazing for my brother and I. We were always with our family. We always had a bunch of cousins around. Like, I loved Christmas growing up. We always had an amazing Christmas. And the reality is I didn't know Jesus as a kid. Like a lot of us, we didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus. And if you did, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But so I'm one of those that didn't. And I was always a spiritual kid. I felt connected, but I just didn't have that personal relationship. And so when that came in my 20s, when I really started to know Jesus, I started realizing like, wow, Christmas is a celebration about the life of Jesus, about God sending the Son of God to the earth to walk on this earth, to be the example for us, to show us how to live, to show us how we have access to abundant life, to show us about his resurrection power that lives inside of us. Like Christmas is about the life of Jesus. Okay. And if we just set, this is my main piece of advice for anyone that's single over the holidays. Let's just put the desire for that spouse, for that family, let's just put it to the side gently. Let's put it in the hands of Jesus. And let's make this Christmas focus on him, just getting lost in his presence, doing whatever you can to run after him, to be in his presence, to worship him, to be filled up by him, to listen to messages about him, to be around people, to talk about him, to celebrate his life. Let's make it about Jesus, being lost, getting lost in his presence. And there's a scripture, seek the kingdom above all else, and all things will be added to you. And that's what it's about, guys. Seeking God above all else. And we don't have to worry. We don't have to fear, because everything is falling into place after that. Okay, so let's just really get lost in his presence this Christmas. Let's make it about him. And I really believe that you're going to have a wonderful holiday season if that is your focus. And even when there's times where your mind shifts back to feeling lonely, to feeling upset, to feeling maybe like you're behind, let's give that worry to Jesus, give those worries to Jesus, and shift our focus right back to him. Okay, the next question we have is from Savannah. Hi, Savannah. And she said, where do you meet anyone anymore? That is a great question, because I think one, there's kind of this stigma sometimes with dating apps, and I totally get it, because I go in and out with dating apps. Sometimes I'm like, nope, I'm done. I don't want to be on there. And other times I feel like, why not? Why not meet some people on dating apps? And I have been on good dates from guys that I met on dating apps. And so I would say definitely pray about it, think about it, be open to meeting someone on a dating app if you feel led to be on there. I believe God can work through whatever means he needs to introduce us to the person that he has for us. I know people that have met and gotten married from dating apps. So be open to it and just pray about it. And if you feel peace about it, maybe give a dating app a try. And then secondly, we have meeting people organically, obviously. What other way would we meet people? But organically. So I've actually met quite a few guys over the past year or two organically. And it's because I am really active in the community. I'm out and about quite a bit. So I can speak from my own experience to see if that would help you and to give you some ideas of how to meet people. But the first thing that comes to mind is figure out or ask yourself, are there any hobbies or any things that you like to do, such as intramural sports or maybe dancing? Something where you can go somewhere, maybe even by yourself, and meet different people. So for instance, I signed up for a sand volleyball league over the summer, and that was really fun. I love volleyball. I played volleyball in high school, and I know some of my coworkers were in a league, so I asked to be on their team. And I met quite a few people through that sand volleyball league, and we ended up being friends. And so that's a good example. I have a friend that is into salsa dancing, and she meets all kinds of people there. She looks like she has so much fun. And again, these are ways that we can just get out and have fun too. So what's something that you like to do that you can get out, have fun, and it's a great way to meet new people. And then of course, I talk about this a lot, is find a church that you feel called to be at. Like, get involved, get plugged in, go to different events. Even if you're going alone, like, go to these events, meet different people, sign up to volunteer at different things. And again, you'll probably meet some friends, and who knows, you might meet a man. And I think in all these spaces, we can meet different people or different causes that you might be interested in. So maybe you're someone that's interested in helping the environment, and so you find an organization where you can help with the cause, and find what you're passionate about. Find what you really enjoy doing, and go do it. And even if it's volunteering, if it's maybe finding a new job that you're really passionate about, whatever it is, like, get yourself plugged in to where your passion lies and what really brings you joy, because that will get you around people that think the same and that are interested in the same things. And again, that's a great way to meet new people. And then the third thing I would say is maybe look up events by your house. I know the app Eventbrite, or on Facebook, we get a lot of Eventbrite notifications, but maybe look and see, are there any retreats happening? Are there any conferences happening? Are there any events that are going on? Maybe different concerts that you can go to of different bands that you like, or whatever it may be. Check out different events that are going on and see what's up. And that's always a good way to meet people too. And Savannah specifically, I always see you out at concerts. So I know you're already doing the concert thing. And I love seeing you at all these different concerts on Instagram. It looks so fun. But anyway, so I hope that helped. And I will be praying for you to meet someone when the time is right. And also be praying, like, Lord, I pray that you guide me to the places you want me to go. I pray that you're guiding my steps, you're guiding my future husband's steps, and that you're guiding us to meet each other at the right time, in the right way. And just be asking for God's guidance, and he will show you where to go next. Okay, we have another question, and this one's from Brooke, and I personally love that you asked this question. I think it's a great question. She asked, is it appropriate to pray for your crush to become your future spouse? And okay, here's the thing. When we are praying for a future spouse, we have to be really careful. Or if we're praying for anything that we desire, actually, we have to be careful. Okay, let me say this properly. If we are praying for another person, we have to be really careful that we're not violating their free will. Okay? So if we are praying for a crush, we should never be praying like, Lord, I pray that he has this passionate love towards me. Lord, I pray that he knows that I am his woman. Lord, I pray that he would come after me. No, we shouldn't be praying like that, because the reality is he has free will, and we don't want to violate someone's free will. So my approach in praying for a man that I may desire, and what I would suggest to you, is that we should always be praying for God's will. Okay. So here's an example of what that looks like. So say I have a crush on this guy. He's really good looking. I feel drawn to him for whatever reason. My prayer would be, Lord, if this is your will, if this man is the man for me, I pray that you show him. If this man is for me, Lord, I pray that he is, that I am highlighted to him. Lord, I pray that if this man is a man for me, that he would pursue me, that you would bless him with courage to pursue me. So that is how I like to pray about it. And I even go as far as, Lord, if this man is not for me, I pray that you take the desire away that I have for him. If this man is not for me, Lord, I pray that you completely remove him. Lord, if this man is for me, if it is your will, then let your will be done. Lord, I pray that if this is the man for me, that you would bring us together at the right time and in the right way. Lord, I pray if this man is for me and I am for him, I pray that you would confirm it with our family and friends. So you always want to be praying for God's will. You always want to keep that first because we don't want to violate someone's will. But God will reveal it to you, and he will confirm it if it is his will. So if it is his will, he will put it in your heart, and he will also be speaking to the other person. They will know as well, and it will be confirmed by others, okay? And that's not only with dating, that's with anything that we're called to do, that God specifically is calling us to do. It's typically always confirmed by other people as well. So be on the lookout for that. And yes, that's my main piece of advice, is always keep God's will at the center, especially when it involves your future spouse, or a crush or a desire that you have towards someone. Definitely make it about God's will. And that prayer of please remove him if he's not for me, this is not your will, Lord, please remove him, remove this desire, that works. Like I've done that a few times and right away something happens and he's gone. Okay. So make sure to pray that prayer as well. And then the last question for the day is, someone asked, Elizabeth, thank you for asking this question. What am I looking forward to in 2025? And I would say I'm just looking forward to the fun surprises that God has ahead. I just know that there are some things that he's working on, that he has up his sleeve, that will be introduced to me in 2025. And I believe the same for you. And it's so fun kind of, walking with him and trusting him in the unknown, because it's scary. Like I shouldn't say it's just fun. It's scary and it can cause anxiety at times, but it's also fun because it's like, okay, what's about to happen here? And even with the rebrand, with my new name and everything of the new name of the podcast, I really don't even know where God's going to bring me with it. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet, but I know that it will be good, and he's going to drop some new exciting things. And I'm also excited to just share more about who I am with all of you. I believe this new rebrand is going to allow me to share more sides of me that I have not shared with you before, to be more authentic to myself, and to just walk in more confidence of who I am, and to be able to take people along that journey. And I'm just excited for whatever God has in store in 2025. And I don't really have anything in particular there, but I'm just excited for wherever God brings me. And this brings us back. Let's just close it out with, again, this intention for this holiday season is to just get lost in God's presence. Okay. Just get lost in his presence. Put those desires that you have to the side, and keep our focus on him this holiday season. And so I'm just going to read Psalm 100, okay? Psalm 100, and this is the Passion Translation. Here is what it says. Lift up a great shout of joy to Yahweh. Go ahead and do it, everyone, everywhere. Worship Yahweh with gladness. Sing your way into his presence with joy. And realize that what this really means. We have the privilege of worshiping Yahweh, our God. For he is our creator, and we belong to him. We are the people of his pleasure. You can pass through his open gates with the password of praise. Come right into his presence with thanksgiving. Come bring your thank offering to him, and affectionately bless his beautiful name. For Yahweh is always good and ready to receive you. He's so loving, and it will amaze you. So kind that it will astound you. And he is famous for his faithfulness toward all. Everyone knows our God can be trusted, for he keeps his promises to every generation. Ugh, it's so good. So good. So that's how we get lost in his presence. through faith, through thankfulness, through praise, and through just a knowing that we can trust him. We can trust where he's taking us, guys. So be thankful this holiday season. Take time to spend with the Lord, to focus on him, to get lost in him. And just remember, he is faithful and he is good. All right, guys, so let's do our affirmations to end the last episode of Single Status. And I am so excited to come back with a new brand, a new title in 2025. So definitely stay tuned for that announcement early December. But let's close out the show with our affirmation. So place your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I am not alone. I am loved and cherished by the Father, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. All right, guys, if you don't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Hey, it's Samantha Marie. My links are below. And if this podcast has been a blessing to you, I would so much appreciate it if you could rate the show, write a review on Apple or Spotify, and share with a friend. Share with someone you know this show would encourage. And check us out on YouTube. You can watch everything there. Make sure to hit subscribe. All right, guys. Love you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And I will see you in January.